cold, it's overcast, it's raining a little bit. That's a perfect day to go walk around the car lot and look at a car that you were interested in buying about 2 months ago. My local Chrysler dealership just recently got a Jeep Grand Wagoneer, and before we bought the Hellcat Durango, we kicked around the idea of buying a Wagoneer. We wanted one, couldn't find one. The dealership didn't have any, didn't know when they were getting any, and so we ended up getting going with the Hellcat Durango, which we love anyway. But now my local Chrysler dealership has gotten in a Grand Wagoneer. They want $94,000 for it. It's what they call a level 1. I'm not exactly sure what that entails. I was told that the only thing it's missing is night vision on the cameras and the refrigerator in the center console, which I don't care about the refrigerator in the center console if it's not always on. But I'm looking forward to going to see what it looks like. You know, take a look at the inside. I've only seen videos. I've never seen one in person. I've saw a few Wagoneers, not the Grand Wagoneer, but the Wagoneers in driving around the city, but I've never seen a Grand Wagoneer, and it intrigues me. It might be something that we would consider buying, but you know, you never know until you see it in person. I haven't been to the Chrysler dealership since they put bedliner in my Ram 1500 Bighorn about 2 years ago. I have a friend that works at that dealership, and one of the guys in finance used to work at the Dodge dealership and sold me my first car that I bought from the Dodge dealership that I'm always talking about on the channel. And he works over at the Chrysler dealership now, so looking forward to catching up with him. So we're going to walk around, we're going to take a look and see what they've got. Little history on Chrysler. The last non-Dodge car I bought for myself was a Chrysler 300S before they did the redesign. This was probably back, I'd say 2011, 2012, somewhere around in there. It was the last non-Dodge vehicle that I bought for myself, and I've always liked the 300. I almost bought the redesigned 300 back when I bought my first Daytona Charger, the 392. But after I test drove it, it didn't have enough power, and I didn't have the resources to do any kind of upgrades. So I ended up going with the 392 Daytona instead. But I've always kept my eye on those 300Ss. I really, really like that car. I would love to get one day and Hellcat swap it. So we're going to go over to this Chrysler dealership, take a look at the Grand Wagoneer, and I'm sure I'll have my eyes on a couple of other things as well. So this Wagoneer seats 7, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. In addition to seating 7, when you open the cargo compartment, there's a lot more space when you have all 7 people in the car than you would like in the Durango. I was surprised at how little room you have in the Durango compared to the Grand Wagoneer. It's a big SUV. Seats 7. It does have the 6.4 liter V8, which is the same engine that's in the SRT 392 Durango that we had. It's also the same engine that's in the Scat Pack Charger and Challenger. For the life of me, I don't understand why Chrysler doesn't put that 392 engine in the 300S. But I loved this Wagoneer. All the tech in this car is exactly what I would want in an SUV. I'm all about the technology. Things that I absolutely love. Screens everywhere. You've got your Netflix. You can do Netflix in the car. You could actually hook up an Xbox in the car. You got screens here. My only concern about the screen right here is my kids maybe breaking that, stepping over it, or something that would break it. But right here you could connect an HDMI cable, meaning you could play an Xbox on that screen right there from the passenger seat. There's a power inverter in the back, so you could plug in a full-on Xbox in this truck. I really liked it. It does have a big 12.3-inch Uconnect 5 screen. $92,000. They did add a couple of minor things that pushed that price up to $94,000, but no markups. This is the standard Wagoneer. This one starts at $74,000, and while the sales rep was talking to Jess about the Grand Wagoneer, I came over and looked at the Wagoneer. I didn't get an answer as to what the main difference is, but the Wagoneer is supposed to be the same size as the Grand Wagoneer. I don't think it has as many features, and we didn't look inside the Wagoneer. Once I was done looking at the Wagoneer, something else caught my eye. This is a 300S that was on the showroom floor. I absolutely love the 300S. This color is called Cinnamon Stick on the Dodge side. I'm not sure what they call it on the Chrysler side. Not a big fan of it on the Charger and Challenger. It was okay on this particular car, but if I was going to buy a 300, it'd be either black, white, or like a dark gray. I love the 300S, and one of these days I'm going to get me one of these cars. I absolutely love the 300S. I can't put that into words more than I already have. This is a Chrysler 300S, and I absolutely love the package, the wheels, and the paint. But this is a V6 model, and it was $45,000, and I was blown away that they would ask $45,000 for a V6 model. Not a big fan of the red in this Tahoe. If it were black with a black trim, it would be perfect. I really like the interior, although I did not record the interior. A lot of space in the Tahoe. This is a 2017 or 18 Z06 they had in stock. I believe they wanted 60 to 70K for this car. And this is the car that I went there to see. I love how this car looks on the outside. I was not a big fan of the interior though. And again, I didn't record the interior. The interior was really dated for a 2020 Yukon XLT. I have a lot of fun when I go to these dealerships, and we ended up spending over an hour at the Chrysler dealership looking at that Wagoneer, and then I kind of ventured off and looked at some other stuff they had on the lot. I like that that orange 300. I would never buy that color, but I liked it on the 300. That's pretty much cinnamon stick on the Charger and Challenger, and I don't like it at all on the Charger and Challenger. They call it something else at Chrysler, but it's the same color, and I liked it a lot more than I would have thought. If you told me they were going to have a cinnamon stick colored 300S, I would have told you that it would look like garbage, but it looked pretty good. And that Viper's not for sale, but I like that. I like that paint job. We're in a military city, and there's a lot of military pride in the city. I like that paint scheme quite a bit. I thought that was nice. And they're not selling that car as a showpiece. The crazy thing about those 300s, that cinnamon stick one was $42,000. It's a 21, and it's a V8. The one that I looked at on the parking lot outside is $45,000, and it's a V6. They're both 300Ss. Can anybody explain to me why anybody would pay $46,000 for a V6 300S? I get they're nice, they're super nice, got nice features inside, luxury. $46K for a V6, that will never happen. I would never pay that for that car, and I get rebates are out the window and stuff, but you know, that's crazy to me. That V8, that car needs a V8 in it, and even with the V8, it feels underpowered. After we got done at the Chrysler dealership, we also went over to CarMax again, and we walked around for another 30 minutes. They had a couple more cars that were on reserve last time we were there. I like that Tahoe. That was a new arrival. That all black Yukon XL. We actually have been eyeballing that one before. Like, we actually eyeballed that one just after we bought the Hellcat Durango. And had that been available at the time, we may not have gotten the Hellcat Durango, because that one seats 8, which would be perfect for family stuff. But we got the Hellcat Durango and we're happy with it. The Hellcat Durango is not going anywhere, even if we buy a bigger car. The Grand Wagoneer is still the prize. That's still the big one for me. My only fear with the Grand Wagoneer is, what is it going to do in the car market as far as depreciation goes? The Escalade is the Cadillac Escalade. Usually, for one that I would want to buy, is around $110,000, and the depreciation on those after just 2 or 3 years is $40,000 less than what you paid for it originally. And you know, I understand car depreciation and all that kind of stuff, but that's on another level. For your car to lose $40,000 in 2 or 3 years, I would be sick if I paid that much and it depreciated that much. And that's my fear with the Grand Wagoneer. If these cars don't sell, how much are they going to depreciate in a year, 2 years, 3 years? I'm always thinking one step ahead, you know, what's next further down the road, and that's my only reservation. That's the biggest reservation that you can have, is not knowing if you're going to be just dead in the water with your car as far as depreciation goes. So while I like the car quite a bit, I'm not sure that I could buy one not knowing how its value is going to hold up. The car market's going to go back to normal eventually, and I see a lot of depreciation in some of these cars that are selling these days. Got a video coming up on that. I'm taking my time writing that video because that's a big one for me. But anyway, you guys like the Wagoneer? Would you buy one, the Grand Wagoneer? If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified for all the videos. I appreciate you guys watching. Y'all take it easy.